Actually, I know only the real Einstein, so I don't know. I'm sorry, but I don't know the dancer.
Sadly, I don't know anything about Einstein.
I don't know anything about Einstein.
Know who that is, but sooner or later I'm bound to find out.
Dude, but I don't. I'm sorry. Please don't hurt me.
I don't know anything about Einstein.
Einstein the dancer, I don't know who he is.
Never heard of Frankenstein or Einstein. Sorry.
Einstein the popper. Never heard of you, man.
I know who Einstein is only for videos, but I'd love to meet him. It'd be so tight to get down and meet him, get to know him. So, yeah.
Einstein is an old school popper here in Portland, Oregon.
Einstein is the secret sleepy legend here.
First time I saw Einstein was right here, actually. He was working the door at Bar 15, and I'll never forget, man. It was May 13th, 2006, because that was the day that we all found out that Skeeter Rabbit passed away.
1996 was my big year for going to clubs, and he was everywhere. There used to be this thing at Bravati's Pan called Club Love every Wednesday night. I didn't miss it. It was like soul music, and eventually throughout the night it turned into house, and he was always there.
I didn't know his name. I just knew he was the cool dude who worked the door. And then one day Malik from Portland City Rockers and Soul Trigger was like, oh yeah, that's Einstein. I was like, oh, word?
4 years ago at a Zulu jam, and he went up against an OG from Seattle called Hitman, and it was the first time I've ever heard of him, and I didn't know what to expect because in reality Portland doesn't have a lot of popping OGs.
He battled some dude from Seattle who came down here when Zulu Nation was here, actually, when they had a Zulu meet here, and Kevin just comes out modest as fuck and I guess tore the dude up.
I met him at the Zulu Jam in Portland, Oregon, 2010. That was my first time seeing an elderly get down, a real OG. Not OG as in original gangster, but OG as in an original dancer, original person, original expression.
OG. Well, original gangster, obviously. To me, it doesn't really have like a gangster connotation, like, at least up here. To me, it's more like an elder statesman, you know? Like, especially with regards to like our hip-hop scene here, I feel like it's kind of a term of respect. Like, oh, that dude's an OG. Like, he's been around for a minute, you know? And like, he's engendered a certain amount of like respect and prestige within, you know, the local scene.
With this monster head, man, he's like, boom, boom, boom. So I was like, damn, this guy's the truth, man. This guy can bang.
That hard-hitting popper.
You see it and you know it, and you're like, ah, that guy's got the old school hit.
Like a lot of hits, you know, a lot of popping. Definitely threw some old school waves in there, you know, like not the real fluid, like mini microwaves and stuff, but the kind that are like bigger. And
the ticking wave, or I think a bouncing wave, where they pretend like the wave was bouncing and it'd go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Beautiful.
It's something that you just don't see a lot. It's something where the dude has like decades of fucking dance and soul and like movement in him.
I always, you know, try to treat people with politeness and whatnot, and he was very, like, he returned it in kind. Where a lot of people are just like, yeah, how you doing, man? Check your ID and then let you in, whatever. He was like friendly, and that was weird for like a doorman, you know?
And he was staking out the door like a boss, doing his thing like a gentleman, guarding that door, bouncing.
just come here regularly because there was always good music and good DJs and stuff. And he was always working the door, and it was always like catch up with Einstein, and we get him to like get down with us a little bit, you know.
Like he's always been kind of security at clubs too. Like there's this protective energy around him. Like at Zulu, I feel like he's just overseeing the new generation.
He's a shaka in the Portland Zulu Nation, which is like the security guys, you know, and like.
I feel like he's a protector of the community there.
To try and build the community through hip hop and to try and feed the homeless, because Portland definitely has a ton of homeless, you know, and try and run clothing drives.
There's all these stories about Einstein, like my friend Miles was like, yeah, he like saved my ass one time from this group of white supremacists. Like he just beat a bunch of them up, and like, you know, he studied all kinds of different martial arts and stuff, and like, I remember him talking to me. He's got these big paws, like just huge hands, and they're gnarly. And I remember him talking to me. At one point, like I was asking about the different styles he had studied and whatnot. He told me something about some move where like you get somebody in a headlock and you like scramble their eyes, and I just remember seeing his big hand just go like, and I was just like, oh shit, like I'm glad this guy's my friend, you know?
I know he's been training martial arts, like every style since he was 6 years old. I know he's like 6'6", huge man. I know he was in a fire. He's got huge hands and scars. I know he was in the hospital for a long time after that. He's got all kinds of stories about bouncing for clubs, being security.
You know, I've always kind of seen that guy as like a Ronin, you know what I mean? Like that masterless samurai who just kind of like wanders the land sort of thing. And I'm sure that's a lot of me romanticizing it in my head.
He rarely shows up anywhere. He hits up the Zulu jams, but I'm not sure if he's like really aware of a lot of the new school battles that are going on, like Deep or the Shoguns. And so it'd be cool to see him come out and show a lot of the young kids like his flavor, or you know, how things used to be.
Portland street dance scene is so young. You don't have a lot of older people and elders from generations past that were there when hip hop really started and have seen things evolve and change. And so it'd be great to have someone like Einstein who's got more experience in this scene and is very community oriented.
I'd really like to see him in a room of the poppers today, this new generation of poppers in Portland, and just hear what he has to say about the way they dance. Like, what would his feedback be? What would he say with his experience? Maybe he'd be really excited with all the innovations.
The OGs, man, they have a lot of information to share, and they've been through everything we've been through. So sometimes, like, when we get too technical, they can see a stage we're at and help us right away.
Having somebody like him around, you know, even if he's not doing like crazy moves that are like, yo, he's the nicest around, whatever, like he's got that noble sensibility to him that I think, you know, people stand to benefit from.
The community needs someone to show the truth of time and history. And there's not too many people that represent that time and and those lessons of those times. And I believe that firmly that we gotta get this guy out. We gotta bring him out.
Hey, what's up, Einstein? This is Icon. Yeah, we talked about interviewing you. I'm just calling you to see if you want to schedule something later this week. Call me later, and we'll talk. Bye.